Chris Antonetti is Cleveland's president of baseball operation, and he joins us now here on MLB Tonight. Chris, I was struck by your comments after the deal was made to reporters about how difficult the conversations were that you had with Francisco Lindor and Carlos Carrasco. Kind of put it into context for us. Why were those decisions so difficult, and what did those players mean to you and the franchise?
Yeah, Robert, I think first and foremost, Francisco and Carlos are not only great players with extraordinary on-field accomplishments, but they're even better people that impacted our organization, our culture, and our community. They touched the lives of so many people in the city of Cleveland and our fan base and our community that, the thought of trading them is really difficult. And personally, I've had a relationship with, Carlos for over 13 years, with Francisco nearly 10, and, we've been through a lot together. So, when we're on the phone having those conversations and recognizing the reality is that we're parting ways, it can be emotional. And that was especially the case over the last 24 hours with both guys.
Chris, it's Dan. Does it hurt extra when you sign and you develop and you see these players become stars and then you have to move them at the height of their career?
Yeah, it always hurts, Dan. Again, not only are they great players, but they're great people and guys that have been in the organization a long time. But our goal, our expectation is we want to continue to maintain and be a sustainably competitive team. And in order to do that, it sometimes necessitates really difficult decisions like this one. And you guys just finished showing on the screen a lot of, really good players that were traded from Cleveland. And some of those guys, obviously went on, we made those trades and brought back players that allowed us and fueled our competitive run. In fact, one of those players, Carlos Carrasco, we acquired in a trade for Cliff Lee, that we all have seen that what Carlos has meant to our team. And had we not been willing to make the difficult trade of Cliff Lee at the time, we would have never had Carlos Carrasco.
Chris, it's Dave. I'm sure that today was a very difficult day for you. But as you look back, when did you kind of come to the realization, oh, no, I'm going to have to trade Francisco Lindor?
Well, we've always balanced our first preference was always to try to keep Francisco in the Cleveland Indians uniform for as long as possible. We've made multiple attempts to try to do that. Francisco and his representatives, to their credit, also tried to do that. But the reality is Francisco has established himself as one of the best players in baseball, and he understandably deserves to be paid that way. And we were ultimately unable to align on a contract that would extend his stay in Cleveland. So the reality that we were facing is he was likely going to be in another team's uniform after the 2021 season. And we felt this was a right juncture in time for us to make a really difficult trade with Francisco and Carlos in order to bring back some young talent to the organization that can not only help us in 2021, but beyond.
Chris, I don't have to tell you how disappointed I'm sure you're aware of the disappointment among your fan base. You have so many passionate fans, and they obviously just hate to see these two players leave. But what would you tell them? What would you tell the fans that are watching this now that are disappointed? What message would you give them?
Yeah, I would say I feel their pain. These are really tough trades, and players, as I've said multiple times, not only great performers, but great people. And to think about parting with them is really difficult. I would ask them to reflect back and think about, had we not made some of those other trades that you just flashed on the screen, we would not have been the successful team that we've been over the last 9 years. So we have to sometimes make difficult trades in order to position ourselves to remain competitive and try to accomplish what we're seeking to do. And that's continually make the playoffs with the goal of winning the World Series. And in order to do that, it does sometimes require really difficult and painful decisions, but I feel their pain.
Chris, it's Dan again. You acquired two middle infielders, Jimenez and Rosario. What are your plans for those two?
Exactly how we deploy them and where they'll play, Dan, is going to be dependent upon what the rest of our roster looks like. The thing we're excited about are both guys are really athletic. They have versatility. We think they can play multiple positions. So we think they'll both play really big roles on our team in 2021. Exactly which positions remains to be seen, because that will be somewhat a function of what else we're able to do between now and the start of the season, and how do we put the best team together around them.
And Chris, the other two players that are coming back to you, two young prospects in the Mets system, what can you tell us about these young players, and what are your plans for them?
Yeah, two young guys that we're really excited to add in, both recent draftees. Josh Wolf is a right-handed pitcher out of the high school in Texas. Really athletic guy with a good frame. above average fastball with a really good slider and developing changeup that we're excited to partner with him and bring him on board and allow him to work with our pitching group and hopefully continue his development on the path to be a good major league starting pitcher. And Isaiah Green's a really athletic left-hand hitting outfielder that's got great tools and skills on both sides of the ball. Very good plate discipline, a lot of contact, great bat to ball ability, and a guy with a lot of ingredients to be successful. So 2 guys we're excited to join our organization, and we'll partner with them and help them try to grow and become really good major league players.
Chris, we appreciate the time. Thanks for the insight. We really appreciate it. And good luck to you as your franchise begins this new chapter.
Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate the time as always.